Welcome back to the table on another episode of Finding a Tori. We are so excited to be with you guys today. I'm alone in the room, in the studio, but I'm not actually. I've got Tori here with me from remote locations at headquarters. Good morning, Tori.
Morning.
And
Glad to be here.
we are happy to be here. We are without our Arcadia today, but that is all right because we're bringing a new friend into the room. And one of the things that we said we were going to make very prominent in this show was trying to shed light on those people and those organizations that are positively impacting access to tables and getting people to their table. I don't know that you could find a better example of that work being done than gentleman that's here to talk with us today. And Tori and I are very excited to have Jason Cottum on the phone with us from his remote location and is here to discuss with us Dungeons and Dogtags and the work that group is doing. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning.
We're happy to have you on today. I've got a laundry list of questions in a short amount of time, which is always my interview format, but I wanted Tori to have some time as well to jump in, but maybe start us off with, we're a TTRPG-focused podcast here, and our mission is about getting people to the table to play. Start with your interaction with TTRPGs and gaming personally.
Well, personally, I was forced into it because of COVID. I was doing in-person games, so that's how I got into the RPGs. And while I was doing that in the beginning of COVID, it occurred to me, I could be doing this with veterans and active duty. And of course, at the time we had the war going on. So my original goal was to set up games for guys overseas in the sandbox and help them out, and also wherever we could provide in-person games as well. And we managed to get a couple games started over in Kuwait. It's one of the military bases we have out there.
That's fantastic. Now, do you come from a background of military service as well? And where did that intersection for gaming and military service and veterans happen for you?
Yeah, actually, I'm a Navy brat. My dad was active duty Navy. I was born in a Navy hospital. I went to 14 different schools. I graduated from high school in Japan. And then I enlisted in the Army age 19 and became a Army medic at Walter Reed Hospital in D.C.
Jason, thank you for your service, both you and your dad. That's something that I love, the idea of finding game play and gaming spaces that are not typical. It's not going to be the basement. It's not going to be the local gaming store, and finding the use and the joy from that activity in what are, I guess, non-typical spaces. I'm sure that my listeners are going to be curious to know the prevalence of people that enjoy that hobby in a military setting. Do you find that a lot of active duty and people that are stationed overseas find that as a useful hobby? Do you see it a lot?
Oh, yeah. We have a saying in the military called "hurry up and wait." We if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. And so we have a lot of downtime. And so, yeah, we played Dungeons and Dragons in the barracks, got games going. I ran a game while I was a medic in DC. And a lot of the guys that are in Dungeons and Dogtags had played while they were in the military too. So we do have a couple first timers who are just learning to play the game. But the vast majority of the guys we have have been playing the game for years.
That's fantastic, and it's something that, once again, for me would be a non-typical space to think of as a gaming community, but you've got enough people there, and like you said, the downtime. You've got camaraderie built up with people, and then a lot of free time on your hands as you wait to hurry up, as you said. And I feel, once again, I'm hogging the lion's share of the conversation here, and I know that Tori's been waiting with some questions, so I'm going to peel back here a second.
Okay, so part of the gaming space that's near and dear to me is the therapeutic effects, right?
Yes.
I was a psych nurse for 12 years. So obviously I have a thing for helping folks with mental illness.
Yeah.
What is the most dramatic way, and this is that you've seen gaming help through, or help some of the vets through their own mental health obstacles?
Yeah. I'm glad you asked this question, really, because it was on the tip of my tongue of mentioning the therapeutic value of Dungeons and Dragons in general. I had a podcast of my own years ago, and I interviewed Anthony Bean, who was Dr. Anthony Bean, who had started Geek Therapeutics, and they do certified game mastery, therapeutic game mastery programs there. Where he's at, and but with us and Dungeons and Dogtags, the greatest therapeutic therapy that we're having is veterans interacting with other veterans, guys who have been in combat with other guys who have been in combat, those shared experiences. And then at the game table, we're in a safe space to where we can act out without any real world consequences.
Absolutely.
And so that is like the greatest thing that we get from this is we kind of have a saying where is strength through gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So
I saw that.
One of the things that I know a lot of our listeners are going to be interested in, and I am myself, is, and you touched on it earlier as we started, I know that a lot of this just logistically needs to take place out over the internet and using those Discord servers and all of the tools that are available to get to folks that are gaming. Where do you find, though, the in-person gaming opportunities for these groups? Do you work with VA locations? Is this something that you coordinate maybe through local gaming stores? What resources do you use for space to get people in front of each other?
Yeah, other than the 2 games we had started, we kind of scaled back from doing that mission and focused primarily on building up our community, but we would love to get into the VAs. We would love to go to the soldiers' homes, our version of the nursing home.
Correct.
And, and get more involved there. And we're scattered literally all over the world, the guys and ladies that are playing in Dungeons and Dogtags. So it was vast opportunities for us to get out there. But like I said, right now we're really focused on the building up the online community, getting games going. We got about 20 games running right now, maybe a little bit plus or minus, and that's where a lot of our focus is.
Is there for the listeners that are like we are very interested in what else could be done there? It sounds like there's at least a significant logistical lift in a coordination lift to keep all of these games going, keep your GMs on a schedule, and make sure that there is a table to show up to, so to speak. What would help from those that want to further this and champion this look like from an outsider standpoint? Where does one get involved?
Easiest way to start is to go to our webpage, dungeonsdogtags.org. There's a little bit of information about us as well as our Discord link. That would get you to our Discord server, and then you get all set up through there. But what we really would love to have is both more players and more games Dungeon Masters, and that's where we're really hurting is the Dungeon Masters, because we have like over 500 members on there, and at any time at least 100 or so are playing.
That's incredible. That's a very large community. Tori, do we know anybody that runs games, Dungeon Masters at all? Got access to a few, don't we?
I could probably ask Val.
I was going to say we've got a bunch.
You.
Well, yeah, I was going to say me and
Jess,
there's a few people at our table.
And Arcadia.
So yeah, we've got.
And one thing I wanted to mention too, we allow civilian supporters to come in too. So this is not strictly only us in the military. So we value our civilian supporters, and so if you're a civilian and would love to get involved with this, we would love to have you.
It sounds like the exact sort of thing that we would love to put hours and time and resources into, and to amplify that call to action to our listeners as well. I love the discussion about the organization. I itch over here with questions about gaming and table experience. And what are you currently running right now? You personally, are you in a game right now or running a game? And tell us a little bit about your table and how that's going.
Yeah, right now I'm running 2 online games, trying to get a third one off the ground. The 2 I'm running is one's Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Okay.
And I have also, and we're a little over halfway through. I have never finished it. It's a slog.
It is. It's an uphill climb.
And then playing Quickstone, which is in Eberron. It's kind of like a Wild West themed in Magic. So
Oh, how cool!
So it's one of the newest worlds that they kind of expanded in Eberron, in the world of Eberron. And so we're playing in that right now. And then the third game I'm wanting to get off the ground is the Rise of the Rune Lords.
Okay.
Converted over to 2014 rules.
Okay, so taking the step back to 2014 or step up to 2014
from
rules.
2E, because
Right.
I got a 2E version of it, and I want to convert it over because D&D Beyond is a lot easier to use than some of the other online programs.
I was going to say, when you're trying to service a game to that many people and keep consistency at those tables, it would seem that way. Tori, I'm yakking again too much. Kick me under the table.
Well, my question was going to be: is it all? Is the majority of what you play Dungeons and Dragons, and do you ever play any of the other systems?
Actually, we have next week starting up Shadow Dark. Guy's going to be running a Shadow Dark game. We have Play by Mail. A dude who was really interested in doing that. He got that started. And really, it's entirely we give a lot of freedom to our dungeon masters.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we ask of them is, of course, do the chat and audio, here on Discord. But as far as VTTs, they are free to use Roll20, D&D Beyond, Fantasy Grounds, Owlbear Rodeo, whatever they want. That they're allowed to do that, and and run whatever games, whatever times they agree upon with their players. So.
And it's that level of autonomy that I think is going to draw in more, game runners and DMs. And instead of saying this is the system, this is the module, and this is when you run it. I think with that model, you're just going to find a larger group of people more willing to jump in. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, we got to clear as many barriers as we can between the player and getting him into the table. And when you have set rules saying, well, we only have a slot open on Thursdays at 6 p.m., it's like, no, that's not going to work. I have no problem having 3 or 4 games running on the same day in the same slot.
And it's that accessibility, that allowance for somebody to find their table through that openness of the model, which I think is incredible. I had a couple more questions with the time that we have here, and I don't want to miss the message, which is get out to that website, go to the Discord server, and see the good work that's going on there and add to it. But questions from maybe experiences that you would have that are unique in the community. Do you find that your players, be it veterans or active duty service members, tend to gravitate towards a certain game more, a certain play style, even maybe a character selection? Do you see anything that's ubiquitous through that group?
The one of the things I learned in my entire life with the military is our diversity. We are from every walk of life, from every place in the country, some even foreign coming over and serving with us. And it's just the same way with the gameplay as well. I mean, we have such a diversity of players and play styles, from the murder hobos to the guys who just want to do nothing but talk and negotiate. So it's across the gamut, just like we are.
That's great. That is fantastic. And it
Awesome.
leaves more space for more tables and more experiences. Tori, what else do you, with the time that we have here with Jason, what else did you want to ask?
What would be your best advice for somebody who is starting to game but afraid?
Jump right in. I started in 1992 with Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition, bought from the Stars and Stripes bookstore on the military base. So I was a teenager then.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did not know how to play at all. I only had heard about Dungeons and Dragons. That is all I knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
That and reading the books Dragons of Autumn Twilight.
Okay, it sounds like we have a very similar starting point and arc into the hobby. That's very interesting.
Yeah, and then I put a little ad in a local paper that's there on the military base for players, and we had a couple other Navy brats that wanted to start it, and they had a little bit more experience. And so I actually started DMing before I ever became a player in the game. So I'm a forever DM, and and that's just kind of the way it is.
Oh, Jason, I will see you at the annual meeting of Forever DMs. Absolutely, that's that's great. We can see our own. And how did it grow from there? Was it just something that you were always able to find a group? You mentioned moving around a whole lot. Was it difficult to reconnect to the game with new tables doing that?
Yeah, I just fell off of it for a couple of years. I mean, I ran a game in the Army, and that went for okay. And then I didn't do very much anything further from that. And then because I had some other issues that popped up. And then I laid off the game until Pathfinder. I was going to go 3.5, but I was pissed at WotC for coming out with 3.5. You know, I was like, that's just another way to get more money out of us.
Exactly.
So I went over the Pathfinder, ran a Pathfinder game for a while. And then when 5e came out and I saw that it was going pretty well, I decided to make the plunge into that. And that's kind of how, and I've been playing ever since then.
Excellent. Well, with the time that we have remaining, I want to say thank you for the work that you're doing. I don't know of a better example of a group and a human that are out there doing that message that we like to yak about on our show, which is help people get to a table to find those benefits of the game, whatever they may be, if they're therapeutic, if they're purely social, if it is able to be found a benefit. I think that it's able to be found a benefit inside of our hobby, and I love the work that you in Dungeons and Dogtags are doing. What else would you like our listeners to know before we go today, Jason?
Just the especially to our veterans, the therapeutic value of playing. It was asked just a little bit ago, and I meant to mention it, about examples of people that have been helped by playing it. And I myself I had been going through, I got bipolar, and I was going through a major depressive episode a couple of years back, and it was the games that helped me out. The veterans that helped me out.
That's fantastic. That's something that Tori's throwing a big heart symbol across there, because it was
it's the same thing to me.
Level of therapy.
I might not be a service member, but same thing.
Yeah.
That therapeutic
we're all about
benefit.
finding our tribe, you know.
Exactly. Oh, goodness. Jason, we're going to have to talk some more, perhaps have you back on again. But here's what I'd like to do we wrap up today is that Finding a Tori, WordLeaf Media are going to take part in the server and try to get a game set up before the holidays that we'd like to run. We're also going to make sure that there's a loud blast on this episode out to our community. And I am in a community that is lucky enough to have a fantastic VA hospital and resource center to it. And I'm going to reach out, keep you on some emails, and we're going to see if we can't do something in person right here in River City.
That'd be awesome.
All right, Jason. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I know that it was short and quick. Tori, thank you for coming on remotely and spending some time with us. We are here weekly at Finding a Tori, hopefully able to bring to you more messages like the one that Jason and Dungeons and Dogtags are out there making happen. And we were lucky enough today to have some time with them. We will speak to you next week. Remember, you can find us on all the socials, and please support Finding a Tori on our Patreon. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Have a great week. Tori, tell them bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jason.
Bye.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
When you sit down at the table, open the books, and spill out the dice, you're looking for an epic adventure. Tabletop role-playing is more popular than ever, and every day new players join our great hobby. My name is Steve Kellums, and I'm the host of the Epic Adventure Podcast. I'm just a fan with a radio voice, but joining me on this quest will be Mike Howlett, the co-founder of Oddfish Games, a great independent game company, and Christina Stiso, a PhD student studying game-based learning. Together, we will discuss all things tabletop gaming, from character creation to world building to setting and pacing. We will give you tips and tricks to make your games, well, epic. Like and subscribe to the Epic Adventure Podcast today.
This episode of Finding a Toria is brought to you by WordLeaf Media. Are you interested in sharing stories of your favorite TTRPG experiences? If so, reach out at www.wordleafmedia.com/contact us on our socials, or you can now leave a comment on your favorite Finding a Toria episode at our WordLeaf Media YouTube channel.